Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about this Season 8 trailer for The Flash. It came out today at the time of me recording this. I have no idea when I'm actually going to end up putting this up, but regardless, if you haven't seen it already, I'll include a link to it in the description down below. I say Season 8 trailer, but it's more so like a trailer for like the 5-part event that's going to happen at the beginning of The Flash, which I think is interesting. I remember hearing there was going to be like a crossover thing, but I think it's so fascinating that it's kind of being lumped all into The Flash. So I guess it's like the first 5 episodes of The Flash are going to be this crossover. Because it's a Season 8 trailer for The Flash, it seems like it's not going to be like, oh, like the previous crossovers where it's like, oh, across multiple shows. It's like, no, it's going to be across multiple episodes of The Flash. But essentially, he's going up against a bad guy that wants to wipe him out from existence. Like, yep, you got 7 days. So I don't know whether it's like a byproduct of like, Barry Allen, you've caused so much issue across all the time traveling and everything that you've ever done over the course of the series. I need to wipe you out because wiping you out will restore some sort of balance that you've thrown off a long time ago. And because it seems like it's not just Barry he's coming after. He's like, you're coming after everyone I care about. Like, everyone I care about is going to die. And it's like, the fact is, you're having to deal with a 7-day time limit, which is interesting because a certain other situation across the pond in Marvel has like a 7-day situation going on. But regardless, I was super hyped the moment I see this because I guess it just didn't correlate in my head because I remember reading that there was going to be a crossover event. But I'm so excited. We get Mia returning as a Green Arrow, which I'm like, yes, because sadly we aren't getting the Green Arrow and the Canary show that was going to take place in like what 2040 Star City, like, you know, that we got, you know, essentially a backdoor pilot for in the final season, sadly. But at the very least, we can at least get some insight to like the continuation of like what Mia's story ended up being, to some correlation. Like, we don't get the full extent of a series. I still will want a series, but at least getting some insight to where her story went. It's pretty dope. We have Ray Palmer returning for a bit. I'm like, that's super dope. I even love that at one point you can see him tear open his shirt. It's like, oh, but he's not going Superman. He's going Adam. I love that. We get Jefferson Pierce back for as Black Lightning, and it just, I was like, dude, it fills my heart with something where it's like, maybe some shape or form, it's like, you know, these crossovers make it so that we can at least continue, you know, things, even though like Arrow is ended, and sadly we're not getting the spin-off, and that Black Lightning is ended, but knowing like obviously those stories have continued in this world. I mean, considering everything is on the same Earth right now, well, most of a lot of things. And you also have this being Ryan's first crossover as Batwoman, kind of getting like, because obviously up till now she's just, ever since season 2, she's just been like allocated to just Gotham, but now it's like, oh yeah, going out there, let's save the world, like, you know, because also like it's so like exciting, because this is our first crossover since Crisis on Infinite Earths, because we didn't get one last year. Because actually, one of the crossovers I remember, like, that was happening, like, the next crossover, at least was reported, was going to be a Batwoman and Superman and Lois, but I'm sure all that shifted just because of everything that went down last year. Plus, I'm sure, like, with the shift from Ruby Rose to Javicia Leslie, like, I'm sure that played, like, a role in everything, too. But regardless, I'm so excited to have a crossover, and just I'm just so hyped. It's a villain I'm not familiar with, and I don't care. I don't need to be familiar with that actor, though. I've seen him in quite a few things, but it definitely feels like that higher level of like, especially because he's moving a chessboard. Like, it seems like it's kind of, I don't know whether, what I brought up earlier, whether that's his justification for trying to go after Barry just because of all the time travel shenanigans related, which I mean, like, you're never going to go after the, are you going to go after the Legends? Which I wonder, is Ray the only one that's going to be involved from the Legends? We also saw Ryan, I'm blanking on his name. We haven't seen him since Crisis on Infinite Earths, but he was the paragon of hope, not hope, humanity. And I don't remember if I brought this up during that time. I might have, like, during 4 and 5, part 4 and 5, my review of it, but I did find out at a later point that Ryan in the comic books becomes the new Adam. So they could be setting this up so that, you know, like maybe Ray is passing the mantle onto him in this like time frame. So all we saw was Barry, so I'm curious, is Nora and Bart gonna play any role in this crossover at all? Be pretty dope, because they were kind of absent. Like, Nora popped up for a little bit during, obviously, Crisis on Earth X, but that was about it. So them getting more involved with this crisis would, well, not this crisis, but it's Armageddon would be pretty dope. But I also like that literally the entire trailer is dedicated to that. But to be fair, like most CW trailers end up only being like focusing on mainly stuff from like the first episode. So this is like, oh, this is stuff from the first 5 episodes, which like gives you no idea what the 100% what to fully expect from like the next parts of the season. I mean, obviously this is going to set the tone very similarly to how like the first half of the first half of season 6 of The Flash was 100% dedicated to Crisis on Infinite Earth, and then like the back half of this season was just about the aftermath of it, you know. So this Armageddon is going to set the tone for the rest of the season, and you know, things are going to ripple out from there. I wonder, we can still, like I said, I've talked about who we've mainly seen. I'm curious, are there people that who are coming back? Like we're getting some of the Justice Leaguers, but not all of them. But it's still kind of nice to know, like, oh, this is like their first official calling of the Justice Leaguers. Obviously, they came together for Crisis on Infinite Earths, but they weren't the Justice League yet. Now they kind of are. I'm sure everyone else is dealing with their respective situations. So this is going to be in November. So I'm assuming timeline-wise, Supergirl will have ended by then. So I don't know if there's going to be anything to do with that. Like I said, it might be like, oh, Clark is busy, Kara's busy dealing with their respective situations at the time. So maybe that's why they can't be there. So. Like Sarah, well, to be fair, where things are currently, Sarah and the others are stuck in time, so there could be a correlation there. Or maybe they'll play with that storyline wise, being like, oh, the reason why they're stuck there is because you needed to miss out on this for everything to happen the way it was supposed to happen or needs to happen. That was kind of my justification of why the Legends are stuck where they are right now, why a Wave Rider destroyed that Wave Rider. It's a whole thing, but I'm really, really excited for this. I was like, that kind of came out of nowhere. I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, I'm excited to check this out. And just to find out it's a crossover event. Hell yes. I'm so pumped for it. I am here for it. So obviously, these are just some of my thoughts, what's going through my head. I love to get to know yours in the comments down below. What are some things you want to see? What are some things you expect to see? Let me know. But really, that's all I want to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.